up everybody? Let me know if everything looks right, sounds right. I've been trying out a few different things trying to improve the stream. So let me know if everything's up. I need to put this fan off quickly. Okay. When soon? Let's say, what's up, Jaggy? Yeah, Jenkins. I don't know why I'm getting tagged in the guy, but it seems like people are catching on the little rivalry here. I'm just, I get a lot of followers when I post on Jenkins stuff. He thinks I promote him, but I have such a small following versus him. And he says I'm more wrong than him, probably because I stream daily, right? And I make so much price analysis, so obviously I'm wrong more than him, because he hasn't really done any content in a very long time, except for engagement posting on Twitter. But anyway, in today's video we are going to be covering some reasons why I think Hex is the best crypto out there. And firstly, let's address the Ponzi stuff, right? Yeah, seems like everything is alright. What's up, Jaggy, Crypto Elite, welcome back. Pearl Lyman Ortega asks when I can start buying Bitcoin, or can I start buying Bitcoin now? I mean, if we just look on the time analysis, this is generally where Bitcoin bottoms out, right, in this area. So if you are buying up here anytime, this would obviously be the better time to be engaged or dollar cost averaging in this market. Now, if you guys have seen my time analysis, the area between the 0.236 and the 0.382 is where the market tends to bottom, right? A few weeks after the 0.236 prints, the bottom comes in, and then the accumulation phase ends, or actually this whole region is the accumulation phase, right? Any area below the, where's my reload zone, there you go, any one of these lines, right? Now, how the institutional investors and the granny investor will act in this market is every line she will put in a certain percentage which she is willing to lose, or willing to sit underwater for a long time. I mean, the granny investor never sells. She just simply she sells when she's in 100% profits, right? After her first double, she'll take a little bit of profits, but she will ladder in her positions here the lower it goes. So that is having more in the on the sidelines to put in when it gets down there, right? If we do the FIB retracement on the overall time frame, I haven't done this in a while, from the bottom to the top, we can see that 28k was the first area where she started buying. The market bounced off there initially, retested it for a few weeks, dumped down to the 78.6 level, and chilled around there, finally fell through it. Now it's acting as resistance, right, at the 786. This is the 17,273 area. Now you can't tell me that these areas aren't significant, right? We can just see how the market respects these areas. And the next region is the 10,666. I mean, it's more simpler analysis than that you can't get, right? And then if we, just to move this a little bit sideways, so that's still valid there, we can do a pull up from this area down here. Now we've got these two nice boxes. Box number one, the area between the 61.8 and the 78.6 level. Box number two, this gets even more juicier down there. Let's make this another color. And then if you're very lucky to get it below the 88.6 level, golden opportunity, right? And then if we just do that, our first green box is over here. And this is where the institutions start stepping in, right? They're not allowed to participate in this market at all here. Like the boat, as soon as it starts moving up, all of this, they're not allowed to participate at all. No buying allowed anymore. No buying allowed at all. Nothing here. Just chilling, right? And as soon as it gets in here, they've been waiting for this opportunity for a while. Now the market is lower, but do you think they are freaking out? No, not at all. They simply wait for, they've been waiting for these areas for a while, right? And then our next box, the pink box, getting a little bit more luck here. She's interested, right? And then if she is lucky enough to get it in this box down here, which will be obviously very rare and very scary for the rest of the market, right? So they're pretty much panicking here. This line down here, probably very lucky, very lots of opportunity, but very rare, right, to get it at the 10k or the 88.6 level. You've gotten this at Hex, right? Hex and many of the altcoins are chilling in these regions down here. So from the price analysis, very good box. This is okay, good, extremely good. Okay, good, extremely good. And yeah, we're just chilling inside of good right now. So on the price analysis, you're in the zone. In the time frame analysis, you're in the zone, right? This is just what I do. This is not for you to go out there and start gambling, right? You need to learn proper risk management, and I don't know the financial situation that you're in, right? So why I think Hex is the best crypto that there is. Firstly, I've got a few notes here. Immutable, right? Cryptocurrency is immutable. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. You cannot censor it, right? The government can't come and say, right, Hex.com, you company, you need to shut down. It's no company, it's a finished product. It's living on the Ethereum blockchain, and no one can shut it off, right? It's encapsulated. Now that means that the contract cannot be changed. No one has admin keys anymore. That means that the developer can't come in and change the code. Firstly, for malicious reasons, maybe to transfer all of the coins to themselves. There's an infinite amount of things you can do if you can simply change the code, right? Also, no one, you cannot come in and shut it down. Cannot change any of the code and then cause stupid bugs like Bitcoin has experienced in the past. Like every time they try to upgrade the code in Bitcoin, they had what is called inflation bugs. The scariest and most dangerous bug that you can have in crypto is an inflation bug where people previously tried to mint more coins and they succeeded the first time and they then rolled back the chain. And secondly, another developer from another project found the bug and fixed it and disclosed it before it could have been exploited, right? So firstly, first principles of crypto. I love stealing that word from Jack Levin. It needs to be purely peer-to-peer, right? This is what Satoshi's vision was at the start. And Bitcoin is not like that, as you can't de-risk, you can't sell into stable coins, you can't provide liquidity, none of those cool things that we can do on the Ethereum blockchain, right? I'm pretty sure he wanted more development to take to happen on the chain, on the blockchain itself, but the Bitcoin maxis don't want to increase the block size, so you can't do more processing on the chain, right? So firstly, it needs to be peer-to-peer. That means no third parties, no central figures, no centralized exchanges. If it trades, the majority trades on a centralized exchange, it fails this abstract, right? It needs to be purely peer-to-peer. And I would add to that, the vast majority needs to be peer-to-peer. We can de-risk, you can provide liquidity, and you can also earn interest without giving up your keys, which is probably by far the most important one, because we've seen in the last cycle, every time people give away their coins, they get wrecked, right? Oh, by the way, I'm asking for an in-depth liquidity LP stuff, like how you cannot lose money, etc., because it's kind of hard to get advantages of using a stablecoin, etc. How can you not lose USD value and make a passive income from it? So you're talking about impermanent loss. It's practically impossible if you're liquidity providing against a position which is pegged to the US dollar like any other token, right? So you need to probably the best one is to liquidity provide between two coins that fluctuate, like Hedron versus Hex, or Hex versus Hedron, or Hex versus Icosa. Then you're earning more of both coins. And if you're keeping that position, if it's V2 and you're keeping that position for years, you you're able to sit through the fluctuations of the markets and not look at the USD value. That is possible, right? But other than that, if you're liquidity providing against the US dollar coin, like liquidity positions are actually better for whales that want to slowly exit the market without affecting the price. So for us that don't have massive positions, it's really not a valid strategy. There are single-sided liquidity pools, but then there is inherent risk because the smart contracts are quite buggy, and if it hasn't been battle tested, I won't play with it. And if it's not a trusted front end or contract, I won't use it because hacks, right? So PulseX will solve that for us, because you will be able to put in a single-sided liquidity pool that won't have any impermanent loss, and you will earn another coin, the incentive token, and then the incentive token would most likely be for normal liquidity providing, and the single-sided liquidity position for PulseX or staking PulseX will be to earn coins which was probably given, like third-party tokens which were given by project managers of other coins for marketing reasons, to give out coins to get some liquidity going, right? How does single-sided liquidity work? It's simply just staking a coin that is not trading against another one. What means the best crypto? Hex isn't the only real crypto. I'm thinking of one that is purely peer-to-peer, that has most of the liquidity on trading on chain, and I can show you just by going to the transparent volume. Now I can't add this here. So let's look at the transparent volume. Frax is a stable coin. Gate.io, don't know what this is. Time Wonderland, Optimism, Hex. So Optimism, the majority of Optimism doesn't trade on chain. They're listed on centralized exchanges, MEXC, Uniswap, Velodrome, ZipSwap, Velodrome. So trading on centralized exchanges. What else? It's not purely peer-to-peer. So yeah, they have shillers. Let me just close this so I can see the chat. How can the fees outcompete the fall damage, etc.? How does single-sided? Heard of people doing it on liquidity on Uniswap. So what people are doing on Uniswap is called version 3. So they have a single-sided liquidity pool, but that is simply just a limit order. So if someone has a Hex position that want to sell at 2.9 cents, when the price moves, and it can be, it doesn't have to be this thin, it can be all the way to say from 29 to 30 cents they want to sell Hex. So all the way, whenever the market trades in this area, they'll earn fees. And from 0, 100% in Hex here, as the more you move through this liquidity position, the less of a percentage will be in Hex and more in USDC. And by the time you get above here, you'll be 100% in USDC. So, and then if the market runs away from you, you're stuck with selling all of your Hex in this position. But imagine you had a massive liquidity position and you wanted to sell it here. You can rather dump it down on the market and push the price down, or the market can slowly but surely, every time it gets in that area, get sold out, right? Until the whole position is sold out and you move out. Now you've not affected the price at all. And you're getting better price execution because you don't have slippage. If you sell a lot on the market, you're going to push the price down against yourself and get weaker or poorer price performance or price execution at that level. It's a little bit complicated, but anyway. I meant Hex isn't the only real crypto. I never said it's the only real crypto, right? I said why I think it's the best crypto. Or maybe I did say that. But the what you call it, the burden of proof is on your side, right? So you need to bring me another coin that is pure crypto, right? If it's trading on exchanges, it's not cryptocurrency, because crypto has to be peer-to-peer, and if it doesn't fulfill this first line, it doesn't count, right? Okay, enough. Have I covered all of my points yet? Why I think it's the best. Not the only one, but the best. 100% uptime, right? We've seen 3 years of very good uptime, right? This isn't the whole chart, there's more data here, which simply means it's never gone offline, right? In the bull run we have seen, and in the bear market, the subsequent bear market, we have seen these coins collapse. We have seen exchanges go offline. We have seen them exit scam. We have seen them scam you, take your money, and also destroy you, right? We have had massive hacks, including the sushi swap hack. This thing's falling down. Let me not worry about it because it's not going to work. Maybe I should mute it before I break. Morning, Hans. I see Bob Lucas has put his 2 pennies in. Right, he's calling Hex a Ponzi scheme. If you guys don't know who he is, he was the guy that popularized the Fourier cycle, right? The Fourier cycle in Bitcoin and in crypto. But what in a life doesn't need more people to go up in price? What asset, right? Does Tesla need more buyers for the price to go up? Does businesses have any customers if new customers don't come in? I'd imagine you're selling Apple Watches or Apple iPods. I need to take this thing off. Sorry about this, dudes. Simon, so no product market fit, right? Tell me what is you're saying it doesn't have product market fit, and I'm trying to ask you, what is the intended product market fit of Hex? Right, we've seen 3 companies fail already, Voyager, 4, just because of this exact product market fit that Hex fulfills. Firstly, BlockFi. Secondly, Celsius. Third, Voyager. Fourth, Gemini Lend. What product market fit does these companies fulfill? I'm waiting for your answer. Probably the most important one, because this is the one that people have lost the most money on in crypto. What do you think it is? Let's see what the rest of you are saying. Yeah, so Bob Lucas says Hex is a Ponzi scheme. So life is a Ponzi scheme because you need more people. Hex doesn't do anything but just makes copies of itself. It's not used for anything. So you haven't said what all of those other products do. And Hex improves on that because you don't have to give up your coins, right? And that's the reason why these others have collapsed. Now, where does more dollars come from? So I can say the same as dollars are worse, because there needs, for more dollars to come in existence, there needs to be debt created. Now, there's nothing worse than debt because it literally is nothing. So what the answer I'm looking for is passive income, or earning interest on your assets, right? Now, the reason why Hex is good and has product market fit is because it addresses that specific thing, earning passive income or earning yield on your coins. That is the product market fit of Hex, earning more while staking it. You can see Crypto Elite came in here and he wanted to learn about liquidity providing. Now, liquidity providing, firstly, is incredibly complicated if you don't know what you're doing. Secondly, it has impermanent loss. So you see he's trying to find another way without losing USD value, which I've told him is practically impossible unless you want to peg 2 stable coins together. You can peg USDC and USD Tether, but then you have major third-party risk, because we have seen the Coinbase company censor people because they wanted to use a mixer and they wanted to use their God-given right of privacy, right? So Hex solves all of that. You can trustlessly earn yield on your coins, which we have seen is a major product that is required in cryptocurrency, because you can earn more passively. That's great. You don't have to give up your coins to centralized entities like BlockFi and all of these others that have lost their members' coins. Not only that, you don't have to KYC, you don't have to suck middleman D and give up your identity, which is, according to America, a God-given right. Let's see. Exactly, you get yield. That's the market fit. The yield, you win against inflation. But Hex is traded on some exchanges. It's traded on BitGet, but the vast majority, 99.8%, is traded on chain. No one can stop the exchanges from trading Hex. They trade it because they want to, not because Richard has asked them to. And they haven't, no VCs have gotten into Hex, which is also cool because the rich people aren't dumping on your heads. Hex doesn't do anything but just make, we've read that. And the US dollars does the same. It just makes more, and no one controls the inflation except a few very elite, super rich men. And it deflates it debases the value of the holders that already hold Hex. Same with Hex, but the thing with Hex is it has a inflation rate which you can see and cannot be changed arbitrarily by any stupid politicians or powers that be. Good morning, Hans. Could you take a look at Zen, please? Yeah, we can do that for you. I like this discussion. It's making me think. So I might sound like I'm getting a little bit irritated, but that's not the really. And I like these good questions. Staking / yield. Exactly. You get yield. That's the product market fit. And we've seen how popular it is to earn yield on your coins. I mean, we've been looking for these kinds of things since 2016, 2017 bull market. Because all the rage back then was these master nodes, and Dash was incredibly popular because you could own a master node if you had 700 coins, and by then it was incredibly expensive. I mean, Dash topped out at like, let's see, 2017. So $200, so for 700, that's like $14,000 for a master node, and none of us had that amount of money, especially if you live in a third world country like myself. That was a lot of money. So, but you could that was all the rage because you wanted to stake your coins and earn passively, right? Now it's much cheaper. It's at 44. Either way, so yeah, Dash is simply just a store of value where you can stake and authenticate to the market by becoming a node operator. Hex T-shares yields great product, and Hex has this amazing game theory that's called T-shares. Hex doesn't have incentive to actually use or buy it. $1 is something you actually need to pay taxes or buy almost anything in society. Also, Hex doesn't have an army to enforce anything. So you're saying the value of the US dollar comes from the army. Lots of people will disagree with you there. So the incentive is, one incentive is yield, if you want to earn yield. The next incentive is insane volatility and price appreciation. That's another incentive to hold it. I just add another one, but I forgot it. Hex doesn't have an army to enforce it. So doesn't, so many other countries don't have armies, right? So their fiat is also pretty much has no use. So Hex, yeah, Hex is better time deposit than traditional banking. That is true because the bank can shut off your bank account anytime they want. And we've seen dissidents in first world countries experience that, namely Canada, for buying cool drinks for truckers. What's the APY on stablecoins? Oh yeah, to get back to that point, 0.01% or 0.1%. So what my point is, you could have just put that in the bank, right, and earned more. And the interest rates are high now. I just not leave it in a bank. But then obviously you have third-party risk, and if you're a political dissident, you might get in trouble. People buy green candles. Hex doesn't have an incentive to actually use or buy it. What are you talking about? That makes no sense. I mean, why buy cryptocurrency? Why do we buy cryptocurrency? Because the price goes up in value and quite volatile. That's all you need, to be honest, Lol. Even if you had no product market fit, it goes up just because it's on ETH. Even if we can simply just, instead of holding all of the liquidity against USDC, we can just move it over to Ethereum, and that's just the price appreciation of Ethereum through Hart's law will push up the price. Because imagine if you get 1 Hex for 1 ETH, if ETH goes from $1,000 to $2,000 and it's still trading 1-to-1, the price of Hex also doubled, right? Because it is hedged against the value of the other side of the liquidity pool. Yeah, Dash was $1,000 in 2017. Yeah, you're probably right. This isn't all of the data. We can look at it on Bittrex. Bittrex will have it. Doesn't have it. Yeah, but it was all the rage because you could have earned a nice income just by holding the coin. Balonix. Yeah, here we go. 1,600. Crazy. Yeah, I remember it. Everyone wanted a master node of this 700 coins. I think it's 700. I might be mistaken. And then you can earn passive income on it, and you could just see what it did, right? It did insane price appreciation. So yeah, passive income is a very, very viable incentive or product market fit. Because why? I mean, look at the most successful products in the US. US the government has. It's their yield-bearing treasury bonds, right? And you've got separate ones. You've got a 2-year, you've got a 5-year, you've got a 10-year, you've got a 20-year and a 30-year. And you can pick your one. And many people also just build staking ladders with it. Staking ladders, right? A 2-year, a 5-year, a 10-year. And they sell billions of these. Even the Fed buys them to stimulate the economy. That is what quantitative easing is called. So interest yielding products are product market fit. Hex monetizes time, stake it till you make it. Yeah. Keep up the videos, Hans, always informative. What do you think about HPX? Also, you never analyze commodities, gold, silver, give your reason. Thanks. I really don't mind looking. I love charts, so I look at anything you guys want me to look at. So if you want me to like take a good look at gold for you, let's get back to Zen. We're still in this downtrend. We've made new lows. You guys know my opinion about it. So we've got this little triangle, and the volatility is reducing. So we'll see how this plays out. Maybe you get a move to either way, but still not much has happened, right? What you need is a clear bottom to be made, and then a run up, and then you can reassess from there. Maybe pull up your Fibonacci tool and say, right, this has now bottomed, and this is where you should be interested in this little box. I can pull up the indicators for you, but I'm pretty sure the RSI is just sitting at the bottom, yeah. So it's very hard to analyze this for you. Interestingly enough, the stochastic RSI is right at the top. I can look at gold for you. XUA, right? So you can see I have done a little bit of analysis on this. Since 2011, you're still down 8%. This was a perfect double top on gold. This is not where value is at. You want it, if you want a generational buy, this is the area where you should be interested. Smash the like button, thank you guys. Yep, come on guys, 28 watching, only 20 likes. 5,700 looks like bottom on Zen. Where did I put the market for the bottom? I mean, this area has been holding pretty well. Once again, this is not an endorsement for you to go out there and get it. I personally don't have any. I just have a very long-term stakes that leads right into the bull market, where I think it would be the better time to reassess how this plays out, right? But the bottom was at 5,477. You need this bottom to be defended. If it continues to break the lows every time, it will continue to be in a downwards trend. But it will follow its minting cost and gas fees, right? HPX. Let's see what HPX is. You said you wanted me to take a look at. Is it a crypto or? It's probably not the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. HPX Corporation. Just give me a little bit of a better indication. How do we get the T-shares price on Hex proof of work? It's a hard asset, the value of staking on there. So what's my opinion on ETH proof of work? This is the chart over here. I mean, everything is pretty much in a bear market. This had a little bit of a rally. This is the reload zone up here, and you can get more if you're interested in there. You can get the share price at icosa.pro and then multiplying the amount of T-shares that you need with this price over here. That will give you the T-share price. Yeah, I mean, if you want Zen, just mint it, right? And the gas fees are very cheap. Same Hans, just minting. Okay, yeah. Hey Hans, I'm looking at more PP and Vault. Any analysis you can give me is greatly appreciated from Murdogan. Like, I'm not sure what's up with Javon James. Like, I know that Craig dude is his cousin. Like, they worked together to show, what's it called, BitConnect back in 2017. Like, I was there when it happened. I've looked at some of the chain analysis on this. He's giving away lots of coins, right? And people sell stuff that they get for free. They have this little rivalry going on, which I frankly don't trust. He holds the vast majority of these coins. He has said in the past that he wants to sell them. Your bottom is at 43. For this to continue and to survive, you need to keep on watching it, because you need good market structure, or that's just a fancy way of saying higher lows, right? These lows need to be higher every time, and it needs to defend these lows. As soon as you start seeing this just continually failing and making new lows, red flags should be going off. What's the other coin you wanted me to take a look at? Poor pleb. I haven't sacrificed. I own none of these coins, so there's no incentive for me to look at them, right? I'm not promoting them. I'm just looking at the charts, right? I mean, this looks nice. You see how the low has been defended? So down 84%. This is pretty normal for a new coin when it launches. All of those guys that had massive bags, sacrifice bags, have, and you guys know how I love this symbol, right? You can either, the little lady will either accumulate in the reload zone. This is the area between the 61.8 and the 78.6 level. We can see some nice accumulation happened in that area. We've now came out of it, so the opportunity has passed. The granny investor has to wait for this to come down into this level if she wants a little bit more. But remember, she only puts in 5% or less than her portfolio in any which coin, in any degenerate gamble, because she knows that it can just disappear or rug pull, and that's the inherent danger, because you can't study every smart contract, right? So when we finally break, so that's for the long-term swing investor, and she'll be selling off on a double all the way up, or she can sell off on the first double and let the position just run, have that free position, because then it's a risk-free trade, right? She can then go invest that somewhere else, buy something nice for her grandchildren or whatever, or invest in something else that's pretty cheap. Or she can hold that position and maybe sell on a 5x or a 10x or whatever, but she needs to have a plan before she does anything. So this boat has sailed. You can see the nice W down here. And so this is your swing trade, your long-term investment, or she can, now this is another type of investor. He or it can wait for this to break this massive W. A 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. There you go. We need our measured move first, from the bottom to the top. So there's your measured move. When this finally, if this breaks up here, it can obviously go down and create another pattern or whatever. And then a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So this means you're risking it. If it finally breaks here, the trade is initiated. You can take it all the way up to 8,200, make a nice 56% gain, and have your stop loss down here. Get out when it breaks down here. what is this risk? 28%. So you can't put your whole portfolio in this trade, otherwise you'll lose 28% of your trade. You need to put in like 20% if you're willing to risk that much. So this is another type of trader, right? That's not the granny investor. The granny investor will just simply sit in their position even if it's underwater, right? So yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good. This is good market structure. You have this nice rounding bottom, right? And the longer this moves in this range, the more powerful the move. Okay, so that was PP per pleb. Volt, I have no idea what it is. I've never heard of it. Nice large liquidity position. Let's look at it on the weekly. You can already see on the 5 minute that's pretty good. On the 15. So this has already left the station. You can see the nice market structure down here, or the large W. If you're interested in this coin, it already bounced off its 61.8 level, but you'd be interested in this area. And then obviously you need to manage your risk. That means never risking more than 5% on any coin, etc., 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 right? But I break that rule. Like I've been sitting 99% in Hex, right? But you guys know my reasons, right? And I've named them, right? Why I think Hex is the best cryptocurrency. And this is the only market when people aren't interested when things are on a 95% sale. Self-custody, the only market, yeah, and insane volatility, right? So I have a small position that I trade with that I don't suggest other people do, because trading is dangerous and emotionally draining as well. Pulse Dogecoin. I mean, doing really well, already up 7% on the day. I own none of it. Sold pretty early on, which I regret highly, because this coin has been a trader's dream, right? It literally pops off, does a few doubles, comes back to its reload zone, pops off again. But you can't be interested up here. This is called the nosebleed section, right? Any area up in here you shouldn't be interested, but that is how retail works. They tend to chase markets, right? You should be interested down here. And we can already see how beautifully it's come down. Doesn't mean you can't make money on this coin. A few percentages here and there, but it is quite dangerous because this can reverse any day. It's already pretty high on the daily, on the RSI. You can see these areas are when they tend to turn around. There is a little bit more room to go for this, as you can see. It's not that high. The momentum is at the above, so there's lots of momentum in this coin, but you know the RSI can move up here for quite a while. So that is Pulse Dogecoin for you guys. And you can see how beautifully it just came in here, made a little cute W, and off it went. Hey Hans, okay. Hans, by the way, have you noticed tons of YouTubers' vids of crypto are unavailable for me? Why? This may sound crazy, but Zen reminds me of Hex in its early stages. In a good way, or just continually dumping to the downside? We've looked at Dogecoin, Lyman. I think it's the same, although it will take longer. Crypto specialists pretend that they have created a better coin than Hex, but they failed or didn't not deliver. This is a very good point. Do you know how many times people have tried to copy Hex? Like so many times. I have never seen a coin be copied as much as Hex has, except for the Unicoin, the incentive token. That literally does nothing. Like the Unicoin, you can vote on governance suggestions, or that's not the right word, but you guys get what I mean. You can vote on proposals. But the Uni token is 90% centralized. It sits in one wallet. You can actually look quickly. Uniswap. The Uniswap token. Let's see what the holders look like. So 30% is in the time lock. Treasury Vester. Well, you can just see how these are all the same amounts of coins. Okay, so you'll have to do a lot more chain analysis on that to see, but apparently it's very centralized. It's the first time I've heard someone stake ending the bull market. It's about times. It's the first time I've heard someone stake ending for the bull market. It's about that time, 2024. So the end of the next bull run, I suspect, will be if that is what you mean, you want the stake ending. You're talking about stakes ending at the end of the bull cycle. We can measure it out. It tends to last 108 weeks. I'm confused. Let me just do the measurement from the previous one. So bull markets from top to top tend to last 204 days. 204 weekly bars. So the next bull run peak is set to come in November. 3rd of November 2020, so the end of 2025. So if you want to put in your Hex stakes, you need it to end in these areas. Now, the altcoins tend to peak after Bitcoin, so we can add a few weeks. So it's probably going to be by the end of 2026. That's also the areas where these fundamental, like I've shown you guys these before, right? This is the property cycle, set to end by the end of 2025, the start of 2026. This is the 18-year property cycle. It then goes down for the next 2 years after that into 2030. And also this guy, periods when to make money, right? And we can cut off that first half as it's not relevant. You can see that, what's this, the guy called? George Sturge. And these dates are incredibly accurate, right? He's showing a peak coming in 2026. I don't know if you guys can see that. But this line over here is when to sell. Years of good times, high prices, and time to sell stocks and values of any kind. The bottom is good times to buy. The C line over here. Years of hard times, low prices, and a good time to buy stocks. Corner lots, goods, etc. And hold till the boom reaches the years of good times, then unload. And this shows the next good time to buy is 2023. How amazing is it that he wrote this in 1872, compiled in 1872, copyrighted 1883, and we can see that the markets are in fact going to be bottoming in 2023, right? That's pretty insane. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question. It was Ash. It was a little bit unclear, but I think that is what you're talking about, when to time your stakes to come out. So we've got lots of Zen fans, right? Cheers, Hans. I have a few stakes on ETH proof of work now. Just need something so I can assess the value. Yeah, so icosa.pro, if that is the right website, icosa. It will show you the share value. I should probably just pull it up for you. It's going to ask me to log in. You change your network, right, to ETH of work mainnet. See, you can see the share price up here. You then need to multiply it with the price of Hex on proof of work. So 25,105 times 0. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros. 3,225. And that gives you the price of $8.11 per T-share. So there you go. That's your price of a T-share on ETH proof of work. I know that Craig Dude is his kind of cousin, lol. Too funny. Dude, they look exactly the same as well. So I don't know what is going on there. I think Trayvon is trying to exit to sell on his community, and that's nothing new. He's done that multiple times before. Hourglass was another reflexive token that he... I don't know if there are any Trayvon fans, but he's not to be trusted. How to find out about the daily payout of Hex on ETH proof of work solution. Create a 30 days to take. Check the amount you get, divide by 30 equals stable. Yep, you can do it like that if you want to. Can you look at the silver ETF and Dogecoin chart? Yes. What is the ticker? This is Silvergate Capital. SLV. So silver is in a very good area, right? It's in its reload zone. This is silver is what the the global monetary system should be based on, right? Because gold is a little bit too scarce, and the money makers love gold because they can then practice fractional reserve banking, where silver can be held, because there's a large supply, can be held by a lot of people because the supply is, there's a lot more, right? But yeah, I mean, silver is in the area where you should be interested. This is the nosebleed section, and then it's overvalued here, but it's nicely inside of its reload zone. You're creating higher lows, but silver does, I mean, these assets, they take a long while, right? But as soon as you can just keep on creating this nice structure, but this is the accumulation area. But silver and gold is managed quite well by the powers that be, right? But I know why people want to hold it. We will see these things eventually go up crazily in price when the control structure eventually collapses, but they don't want you holding this. And Dogecoin. I mean, Dogecoin and Litecoin have been doing really well, and it seems like they are leading the market, right? So we've popped off in Dogecoin. We have then come back into the reload zone. This is where you should have been interested, right? This was probably the accumulation zone if the bottom is in for Bitcoin. Now this can, the granny investor, she has her orders here, right, at 9.1 cents, and then at 70, and this 7.2 cents, and then she can have another one. So you might just see accumulation just in this area, but I think the lows has been established here. So it's a little bit overvalued right now. You need to wait for it to come down a little bit, right? Let's take a look at Hedron for you guys. So suffering a little bit under the pressure currently, but the indicators are nice and low. We are inside of the reload zone. The market is smiling at you, like I've drawn up here. If it breaks the 1600 level, so there's no measured move yet. I mean, this is, let's put up the line chart. So you've had bullish divergence all the way from back here, hidden bullish divergence. As the price is going lower, yet the indicators are going higher. On the stochastic as well, let's see if there was any divergences back here. No. A little bit here. The unbalanced volume is very powerful. And we haven't made a new low, so no divergences here yet. I mean, all I can tell you is this is technically where the value is at. Hedron has had a major run inside of the bull in the bear market, so it's a little bit tired, right? How the granny investor will approach this is she'll have a small order at the 78.6 level, which I will tell you the price now. See, my numlock's not on. She'll have an order at 1,486, a small percentage. A small percentage she's willing to risk and accept that she might be underwater for a while, and then another one at 874. So all of those is zeros and 874. That would be her next target. That is also an area where you can see a lot of confluence, right? This red line, a lot of resistance, breakthrough, and then found support and then broke through. If we pull on the line chart, we can see that this is what is called the Wyckoff check, right? This was initial resistance, but then I'm scared it comes down all the way to retest these levels down here at 226. But I mean, on the daily, we've been oversold. This was the perfect buy zone. When was this? The 22nd, and we're still moving down. If we go to Hex versus Hedron, this is the weekly chart. This has definitely formed a bottom down here. You can just see the beautiful market structure, and we're on quite an aggressive uptrend. So Hex outperforming Hedron. This might give you an idea of what is going on. There's still a little bit more upside if this wasn't at the top up here. So X is a little bit overvalued here. So you might have it come down a little bit. Was this the bottom back here? But you shouldn't be selling your Hex for Hedron here. You shouldn't be selling your Hedron for Hex here. You should be waiting for it to come down to this level. So to summarize that all, Hex is a little bit overvalued up here versus Hedron. We need a little bit consolidation to the downside. If we go to the weekly, I mean, it's still very, very undervalued, and lots of upside on the weekly for Hex versus Hedron. So that means Hex either going up in price significantly, or Hedron has to go down lower. So I hope that gives you a little bit a clearer picture of what might be going on here. But if you're just going off the overall analysis of this, technically Hedron is valuable versus Hex up here only. And I don't know how valid it should be, because the indicators are so low. I just think now's probably, yeah, I mean, it's in the reload zone, but it can come a lot lower. I know I'm all over the place, but this is a little bit more difficult to analyze this chart. And as I've mentioned, like, we've done amazingly well, or Hedron has done really well in this bear market. I mean, this massive rally, you wouldn't expect that. And there were lots of crypto people watching this chart when it was running this hard, that wasn't even involved in the Hex ecosystem. Now, the only thing that I am worried about is that this was a lower high that we rallied off. What you want to see is, this is good market structure, when a low is defended, right? When this low is defended, meaning this low is higher than this one. But what in fact happened is Hedron made a low, came up, and then made a new low, and then rallied off there, which isn't the best. This generally means that the market wants to come back and retest this area. But hopefully that doesn't happen for you guys, because this is a lot lower. I mean, all you can do now, no one can tell you when this bottom is going to be in, is just get your areas where you're interested and put in the percentage that you are willing to risk. What you can do is you can wait for the, so we are at this side of the downtrend, except if you pull it up to here. Maybe that's a little bit safer. You can always wait for the market to get this side of the downtrend and then create a W or a higher low. And this would be your signal to go long when it in fact breaks that W to the up to the upside. That would be the safest thing to do, but this can take a while to play out. But that, at the end of the day, that is what investing is all about. It's about being patient, right? Crypto T, yeah, that was what I was going to do. I was hoping there was a better way of going forward so we can analyze over time. In the Okosa app, it doesn't show the daily accumulation of Hex, so you only get to see when the stake ends. Pat Ford, it's a pleasure, bro. Amazing, great share. A bit of pain in the Yeah, maybe ask Gidon Creator to fix it or the daily stats Hex guys. Yeah, I was thinking. What's up, Senjuf? I hope you're doing well. Crypto T. My guess is lots of people ending their stakes. To be honest, some grannies are hot. Hans just heard from Jenkins. He says you are the best. Hans deserves 10k. I hardly. If that is true, I appreciate the comment, but I highly doubt he is giving me any good words. Hans deserves 10k subs. That I think I'll put my goal for 10k subs by the end of 2023. I think that's a good goal for this channel, and I promise to continue to be very consistent. And I will see